Tennessee was an early recipient of federal Race to the Top funds for education reform. Please describe your position on this program and any other education reforms that you support. Ms. Edwards?
We have received funds, and over half of those have gone to planning, and over half of those, I believe it's 500 million, have gone to outside interests to talk about what we should do and how we should test, and have not gone to the children to meet their needs. With respect to our push in changing the American school system, we've had a push for privatization, a push for vouchers, and a push for what is called choice, but what actually would wind up being an extraction of your property tax dollars so that they could be spent and sent elsewhere. To illustrate what I mean by what's been happening, about 17% of our public school budget comes from the federal government. About 50% or more comes from your property taxes. And yet, by the interference with how the schools are conducted and what the curriculum is and how the teachers are evaluated, you would think that the lion's share came from the federal government and the state government, and that's simply not so. We have an allocation of our BEP funds through the sales tax that needs to be looked at and made better so that we're spending better for our children and don't have the disparities that we now see. But primarily it's your property tax dollars, and you need to have a strong influence into how those are spent. In Union County, we are supposedly the head of the K-12 Inc. program, the virtual school. Union County just sent a $5 million plus check out of Tennessee to pay an industry that is supposedly teaching our children by virtual school and has shown inferior outcome. So this push to take over our school system has not been spent on our children, and you haven't had the influence you should have. Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, I want to congratulate our state for having won the Race to the Top. Anytime there's a competition and you win, I think it's a good thing. But like so many other things, and I think you'll hear my theme tonight, I want to see more local and parental control of education as opposed to Washington, D.C. control. The problem that I've seen in Washington, D.C., whether it's education or any other program, is there's always strings attached. There are always too many constraints. So the best laid plans can fall apart because of these requirements. I think it's very, very important, whether we're talking about Race to the Top or any other education program, that local school boards and parents and local PTAs have more say. Because as Dr. Hagen pointed out, the largest part of the budget comes from the people of Tennessee. Local taxes, not from Washington, D.C. So my theme all along has been, get the federal government out of the process as much as possible, give much more control to parents, teachers, local school boards, who are electable and accountable, because I believe the closer you get to the people, the better it is. Thank you.